So, cricket explained for baseball fan by sports explained. I mean, my only impression of the difference with cricket is, yeah, they have like more gear to protect themselves, like the shin guard. And I thought they have like more like flat baseball bats, I guess. I think is the difference. I don't know anything else about it. Yeah. I just know it's very popular because I check out the popular, um, you know, the popular like posted day on Reddit, posted a day, and sometimes it's about cricket. Like there's a lot of the cricket posts that get very popular, I guess. So let's learn about it.
Cricket explained if you already know baseball.
All right. To get this started, I want you to imagine a game much like baseball, except there are only two bases, and they're basically where home plate is and where the pitcher's mound is. To score a run in this game, you simply have to reach the next base. So if you put the ball in play and you make it to the pitcher's mound, that's a run. And then if you're able to make it back to home plate, then you score 2 runs on that play. This game is played in the middle of an oval, so there's no foul area. You can hit the ball behind you, you can hit it to the side or whatever. And in this game, the pitchers are allowed to bounce the ball. If you can picture this game in your mind, you are 75% of the way to understanding cricket. The rest of it is details.
Okay.
Before we get started, I just want to say that I'm going to be explaining this like I would to a friend of mine who knows baseball and wants to know about cricket. I'm probably going to be switching between baseball and cricket terminology a little bit more freely than maybe somebody who's a hardcore cricket fan might be comfortable with. Feel free to correct me in the comments, but what might be more fun is if you made a companion video that explains baseball in reverse. All right, let's get started.
Basic gameplay.
So cricket is a game played between 2 teams of 11 players. When a team is fielding, all 11 of its players are on the field at the same time. 9 players are out in the field at the various positions, and then there's 1 bowler, who is basically the pitcher, and 1 wicketkeeper, who is basically the catcher. And then the team that is batting has 2 players at bat at any given time. These batters stand at opposite ends of the pitch, which is a narrow rectangle that's in the middle of the oval that is the cricket field. At the ends of the pitch are 2 wickets, which are these.
And right away, just looking at some of this footage, there's a lot different. Like the way, for example, like the pitching, the ball like bounces. It's not just like straight. You can make the ball bounce, and that's okay. It seems.
Little structures that have 3 stumps and 2 bales. The stumps are the 3 pieces of wood that are in the ground, and the bales are these 2 little pieces of wood that rest on top of the stumps. A play begins when the bowler, which is basically the pitcher, bowls the ball to the batter. The bowler is ultimately trying to break the wicket, which would get the batter out.
Oh, so that's why they have the chin guard. That explains it. I was gonna say like, it's kind of interesting that they don't have shin guard when in baseball, like you think it's like more the upper body that's gonna get hit by the ball, but no, it's because you throw toward the leg. I see.
And more on that later. The batter is trying to protect the wicket and put the ball in play. If the ball is put in play, and the batter and the teammate are able to switch places, so basically assume the other one's position, the team has scored a run. And if they can do that again, then they score 2, and if they can do that again, they score 3, etc. There are no strikes in cricket. The batter can just choose not to swing if they don't want to. And there's no penalty for hitting a batter with a legally thrown ball. Batters are expected to protect the wicket and not let themselves get hit. In fact, as we'll see in a little bit, there are actually situations where...
I was gonna say, looking at it, like, you might as well just not even use the bat sometime, like you can just block it with your leg.
A batter can be called out if they allow themselves to be hit with the ball. There is the equivalent of a ball in cricket. It's called a wide. And if the umpire has determined that the bowler has bowled the ball wide, 1 run is awarded to the batting team. There's also something in cricket called a no ball, which is when the umpire has determined that the ball has been delivered illegally. And there's a couple dozen different reasons why an umpire might call a no ball. If the umpire calls a no ball, just like a wide, 1 run is awarded to the batting team. In cricket, the batters stay on the field until they are out. So they continue to bat and score runs until they are put out. This means that just like in baseball, a batter can be out with 1 single swing of the bat, or they can stay at bat, I guess forever. But it's common for a batter to score between like 20 and 50 runs in an at-bat, and it's not unheard of for a batter to hit 100. This is called a century, and it's very fun.
Century.
The boundary.
Along the perimeter of the cricket field is the boundary. This can be a rope or a little cushion type thing, or it could be a short fence or a wall. When a ball is put in play and it reaches or goes past the boundary, that is called a boundary. A ball that rolls and hits or passes the boundary or bounces over the boundary like a ground rule double is worth 4 runs for the batting team. A ball that is hit over the boundary, so basically like a home run, is worth 6 runs for the batting team.
So home run is 6 points.
There are several ways that a batter or runner can get put out in cricket, and they boil down to 2 basic categories. A batter can be caught out, which is just like baseball. They hit a ball in the air and a fielder catches it. Or they can be out if the fielding team knocks the bails off the stumps of the wicket when you are in a position where that could put you out. There's a few different ways this could happen. You could be run out. This is where you are trying to score a run, but they knock the ball into the wicket before you reach the crease that defines the place where you are safe. By the way, the bat is part of your body when determining whether or not you are safe. You can be bowled out, and these are very exciting. This is where the bowler sends the ball to you, and the ball bounces past you and knocks the bails off the stump.
I'm guessing that's more rare because I'm guessing the batters are like used to really like standing really in front of it, so it doesn't happen. So it must feel really good when like, you know, you aimed really well and like you went between the legs or something. That must be pretty awesome. Interesting.
A batter can also be put out by the wicketkeeper if the batter moves past this line here called the popping crease, and the wicketkeeper gains possession of the ball and knocks the bails off the stumps. This is called being stumped out. A batter can also be called out if they allow the ball to hit them and the umpire determines that the ball would have knocked the bails off the stumps if the batter had not interfered with their body. This is called...
I guess that rule seems a bit more like complicated. No? I mean, in the first place, the batter is always like in front of it, so sometimes it might be obvious of, you know, they were actually trying to get hit by the ball, but I feel like most of the time it wouldn't be that easy to determine. Like, was it an accident or was it on purpose? It seems kind of like one of those rules that's kind of hard to determine.
Called a leg before wicket. So those are the most common ways that you will see a batter or runner get put out by the fielding team. There are several other much less common ways for a batter to get out, and we will not be getting into them here. One major difference between baseball and cricket is in cricket, if the fielding team thinks they have gotten a batter or runner out, they first have to appeal to the umpire who will confirm whether or not the batter or runner is out. So if a batter or runner would be out, but no one on the fielding team notices it, then play just continues and the umpire will not just like call them out.
That's
when a player is put out, the bowling and fielding team is said to have...
That's interesting, but I can imagine it makes the fan very mad if they notice. Yeah. That's an interesting rule though, it's really about, you know, the players having control. Yeah. But then isn't it like worth it? So like every round to be like, hey, umpire, did we get a point on it? Just ask every time.
Taken the wicket, and the batting and running team is said to have lost the wicket.
Overs.
Each series of 6 pitches or deliveries, which are called balls, is called an over. Each over has only one bowler, and each bowler only bowls 1 over at a time. So after a bowler has delivered 6 balls, they take up position in the field, and another player comes in to be the bowler for the next over. A bowler can field for an over and then come back to bowl again, but a bowler may not bowl 2 consecutive overs. If you're comparing this all to baseball, overs are similar to individual at-bats in terms of the flow of the game, right? It's like one series of deliveries that everyone's watching, and then there's a brief pause while a new player comes on, and then there's a next set of deliveries that everyone's watching. The difference, of course, is that it's the bowlers, the pitchers that are coming in and out, and not the batters.
Okay.
Formats.
Beyond everything that has been explained so far, the majority of the details of the game that you watch will depend on the format of cricket that you're watching. There are two basic formats of the game of cricket. There's first class cricket and there's limited overs cricket. First class cricket is what a lot of people think of when they think of cricket. We're talking about the games that go on for several days. Everyone is wearing white. Maybe the Queen shows up. And first class cricket is most associated with the 5-day-long test matches that international teams play against one another. They're scheduled for 5 days, but they might be completed before that. At the beginning of the first day, there is a coin toss to determine which team goes first.
That's kind of crazy. I always thought, baseball is long in the first place. I mean, I don't actually know because I've never watched a real baseball match, but the system seems like it could be very long, like half a day to a full day, like a game, right? So cricket went like, yeah, this isn't long enough. Multiple days, one match, like one match between the same team. Is that what he meant?
And then the sides alternate going through their entire batting order. This happens twice. So each team goes through its batting order twice for a total of 4 innings. Unless the team that goes second scores more runs than the team that went first, in which case they don't have to actually finish their entire innings. They just win the game. That was very simplified. The rules governing test matches could be their own 15-minute video. The other format of cricket is limited overs cricket, where each team is limited to a certain number of overs, and each innings comes to an end when the specified number of overs has been reached or when all of the batters are out, whichever comes first. There are several types of limited overs cricket, but there are 2 that you are most likely to see. The first of these are the one-day internationals, or ODI. These are played between national teams. And
okay, so I guess there's a format for one-day match. That sounds a bit more normal, I guess. Ed O'Neill baseball game with the pitch clock rules is around 2 hours 30 minutes. Just that's okay. I always thought it was longer than that. I guess I'm wrong. Yeah, fair enough.
Each team has 50 overs, and then there's also T20 cricket, which is 20-20 cricket, where both teams get only 20 overs. This style of cricket was invented to be more exciting and more fast-paced, and to put the length of an individual match around the same as other common sporting events around the world. An easy way to know whether you're watching a test match or a limited overs match is whether the teams are wearing white or colors.
I can't lie, I mean, I can't imagine watching like one match over multiple days, like you do a portion of it, then you have to go home, go to sleep, and then watch the next part of the match. I mean, it'd be especially like, it might be interesting if it's like, an actual like back and forth and you don't know who's gonna win. But if it's, which I'm sure happens a lot, like one team dominating, I imagine like it's kind of hard to stay into it for that long, right? Used to be longer, but 2 years ago they bought new rules to speed up the game and reduce the dead ball time. Fair enough. I think that's always what I imagine. Again, like my only baseball knowledge was from watching like anime and like VTuber play some of the baseball games. So it's all like very sped up version of baseball, right? Where basically there's cut anytime there's like dead time of like changing batter, people walking from the dugout to the field to the field. So in my head, I always fill the gap as like there's a lot more time than that in between. But 2 hours isn't that bad. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And if you are watching a professional match, you're almost definitely watching a T20 match.
Scorekeeping.
All right, pay attention because this is maybe the most confusing part of all of this, the scorekeeping. So at the bottom of the screen, you'll see it says India, and then it says 118 for 5. This does not mean that the score is 118 runs to 5 runs. No, this means that India has scored 118 runs for 5 wickets, which means that 5 of their batters have been put out. Then it says first innings. So this is the first innings of this match.
Sure.
Then it says England 287. So that's how many runs England scored in their innings. And since this is a test match, both teams will play 2 innings. Then you've got information about the 2 batsmen that are currently up and how many runs they've scored so far. Then at the end, it says Broad 0 for 24. This means that Broad, the bowler, has taken 0 wickets so far and has allowed 24 runs. And then the 15 o'clock over there, that's just the time of the day. It's 3 p.m. Now, for a limited overs match, there's a little bit more information that you need to know. So here you go. Down at the bottom, it says England. This is another game between England and India. It's a women's game. So it says England 103 for 4. So that means that they've scored 103 runs for 4 wickets. P2, don't worry about what that means yet. Then it says 24.3 of 50. That means that we are 24 overs and 3 deliveries into this innings. And then the 50 means that this innings will have at most 50 overs, right? Because this is a one-day international. Then it says target 222. This means that India went first and scored 222 runs. So that's how many runs England has to score to win. And from there, it's pretty much the same as the test match we just saw. Just be careful, because if you're watching an Australian broadcast, the scores are reversed. And the wickets are first and the runs are second. So on this one, it says Ren, that's the Renegades, that's one of the teams, 5 for 135. So it's 5 wickets for 135 runs. So just be careful, it might be confusing.
Some final similarities and differences.
All right, that's basically it. I thought that we would end this video with a few more similarities and differences between baseball and cricket. One major difference is that in cricket, if a ball is in play, the runners are not compelled to move, right? You only run if you think you can make a run.
I was gonna say, like, I was looking at the footage so far, and yeah, I was a bit surprised at the time, like, they didn't seem to go like the runner and all that, they didn't seem to go like super hard sometimes. So I guess that explains it.
Similarity is that every cricket ground has different dimensions and a different shape. And much like in baseball, this means that certain cricket grounds are more favorable or less favorable to different play styles. Another difference is that in cricket, the positions refer to places on the field and not necessarily the individual fielders. So if baseball...
There's a position called straight fine leg, short fine leg, leg guy backward, deep mid wicket, okay, mid off, mid on, okay, interesting names.
Had a similar thing, like you would not be the shortstop for your team, you would just be a fielder who would be playing shortstop position, and then if your team was in a shift or whatever, maybe you would be said that you were in the second base position, or maybe for one batter you would be in the shallow mid outfield position, right? Another similarity is that in cricket, players on field and off the field behavior is governed by an old-fashioned sense of propriety that's not unlike the unwritten rules in baseball.
I was gonna say, like, you know, last time we watched that video about, you know, everybody fighting and cheating on the umpires in baseball. I was wondering if like cricket is more normal sport, you know, where like if you do something like that, that would be bad, right? Probably it is, yeah.
And the final difference that's probably become clear to you as you watch this video is that cricket is a much more international game than baseball. I don't mean to say that it is more popular in more countries than baseball, although this might also be true. What I mean by this is that international competitions, so competitions between national teams, are the norm. They're not like a special thing that everyone tunes into every 4 years. Professional cricket is a relatively new phenomenon in the world. And while leagues are becoming much more popular these days, it wasn't very long ago that professional cricket was looked upon as diluting the purity of the game. All right, baseball fan, you have just become a cricket master, and you are ready to watch any cricket game that comes across your television. If you are a cricket fan and you notice that I got something wrong, which I probably have, or that I left something out, which I probably did, feel free to let me know in the comments. Although, like I said before, it might be more fun for you to just make your own companion video. I would love to watch a video where an actual lifelong cricket fan tries to explain cricket for baseball fans, or tries to explain baseball for cricket fans.
I mean, it seems pretty entertaining. It does seem different enough, like the whole concept of, you know, like trying to bring down the, I forgot the term already, bring down the little thing, right? Like you have to aim for that and everything. I find it pretty interesting. you know, sure, some of the base feels like baseball, but the rest of it is fairly different. Okay, well, after all this time of knowing the name cricket, but having no idea what the difference is, I do now. I guess the only thing that I will need now is a cricket anime. And then I guess I'll get more into it. That's always my gateway into anything. All right. So yeah, good video. Here's the link. Seems pretty fun.